Hi, good afternoon. I'm Amy Hanifan. Thank you for joining. We're excited to be here this week. Our Women in Fire Leadership Conference was co-located with FDIC. We had that yesterday, and we're excited to get to dive into that and a few other topics. As I mentioned, I'm the president with Women in Fire. I've been with the organization about 10 years now. I also work as an operations chief out in Oregon for a combined fire department, and we're excited just to get to share a little bit of our message about Women in Fire.
I'm Adrianne Ziyad. I am the Secretary Treasurer with Women in Fire. And I've been with the organization around 3 or 4 years. It's been a great experience thus far. I also work with DeKalb County Fire Rescue in Metro Atlanta, and I'm a captain and health and safety officer.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Cox. I am the Executive Director for Women in Fire. I've been a part of the organization for about 10 years, and I am also a training captain for the Eden Prairie Fire Department in Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Khalilah Yancey. I am a functional trustee with Women in Fire. I have been in the organization for about 6 years. I'm currently a captain in the Baltimore City Fire Department, and I am assigned to suppression, but I've been doing various activities throughout our department.
Well, I think we're all excited about how well our experience has been the last few days. Our conference is always kicked off with a networking event the night before, and I think that was a really great turnout. I would say that we had a lot of positive interaction.
Good.
It was nice to have a bit bigger group this year, of course, being back to our normal schedule, and just a really positive vibe and atmosphere. What were some of your favorite things about the networking?
For one, I was glad to see that it was so many men there and that they are aware that our organization is open to men as well, our membership and everything. So it was great to be able to network with them, talk to them, see where people were from, what they were looking forward to attending. So it was really a lot of fun. It was a great opportunity to just meet people that I hadn't met before. So,
Yeah, I would agree.
I concur. I met someone from Alaska that was at our networking event, and I was like, that's awesome. We met a whole group of people from Florida that their chief sent them down and was eager because he wants to get more information and wants to have every female in his department be a member. So I just thought that was great. The networking event was just an awesome time for us to explain what we do as an organization and to invite them to many other things that we did.
I met actually Megan from Sydney, Australia,
Oh, wow.
a battalion chief. So obviously she knows Michelle.
Right.
And she's going to try to attend our event in Florida, our conference in September. But she definitely got the award for coming the furthest. But it was really great talking to her.
awesome.
She's full of knowledge.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. And as always, we're at the JW Marriott here in Indianapolis again, and it's a beautiful setting. We were in a ballroom this year, which is a new setting for us, but it was great.
We needed the space too.
We did need the space.
Yes, it was good. We overfilled the last space.
That is true. So obviously yesterday then was our one-day leadership conference, and that was such a great feeling. It was so nice to be back and to have the full experience of everything. We kicked off the day with our keynote, Sarah Jonke.
Yes.
She did an excellent job reviewing some of the science and some of the research that she's been working on. So Dr. Sarah Jonke with NDRI, their research group has been very interactive with putting out a lot of information for the fire service as a whole here the last 5 to 10 years. And we've been excited to have some great partnership with NDRI. We've got a current grant that we're working on, best practice for diversity and inclusion training, as well as some reproductive health information and resources. And she just did a great job of giving all of our attendees some of the feedback on some of the things that are being done and worked on, and really some of the resources that we need to be aware of, or the impacts that we need to be aware of.
And to piggyback on the grant, we also had a class yesterday at our conference that Angela Hughes, a retired captain from Baltimore County, taught about building a case for inclusiveness in the fire service. And that's within one of our grants that you can request for us to come out to your departments to teach about. But it was an awesome class, and we had a lot of men in there, and they were listening to the different topics that she talked about, from inclusiveness and equality, from just, it didn't matter about age, gender, the color of your skin, anything. And it was a very great discussion, and everybody was in tune, and I think it was awesome. So we have a grant that you can have this class at your different departments. All you have to do is reach out and look on our website for more information. I also attended a class that was taught by Dr. Dennis O'Neill with the future of the fire service, and it talked about the different types of building construction and how it's affecting our day-to-day operations. I think it was great, and it reached into the different technology that's going around and out now. So if you have a chance to come to our upcoming conference and see some of these great speakers, I think you should really tap into it.
I would agree. And I know Adrianne sat in on a session yesterday afternoon that I've heard everybody raving about.
It was, her session was epic. I was calling her Dr. Battalion Chief Candace. That's Candace Ashby from right here in Indianapolis. Had never seen her, heard of her, interacted with her at all. And it was life-changing. Her conversation was about leadership from the bottom up. And she just talked about her experiences. She came from a smaller department, and Indianapolis absorbed that area, and it worked in her favor. And she was able to promote, even though she met a ton of adversity when she came, I think she said 32 years ago.
Wow.
When there weren't, a handful of women in the fire service, but she kept progressing and stayed focused. And she's able to, as I said, make battalion chief. And now she is very encouraging and motivating. And she just talked about how everyone has something to contribute to the fire service, whether you're a firefighter or a fire chief. And she had a couple members from the organization in her class from Indianapolis Fire, and she kept telling them they were rock stars and all the things that she does for her crews, and just the importance of that, like you said, inclusion and equity. And she was all about it. It was just so much fun and so encouraging. And I was just so motivated. I put on her evaluation that she needs to be teaching at Women in Fire's International Conference that we have, because she has so much to offer, so much to give back to the fire service. And it was just so encouraging.
I think that we all have to make sure we check her out.
I know.
man.
I was kind of bummed I missed it, actually, because I know a few people were kind of sending pictures, and it sounded like just a great atmosphere.
It was. She made it so much fun, so informative. And her room was pretty full. So I felt bad for anybody that missed it, because it was truly epic. We just had so much fun in there, and she's a wealth of knowledge. I was also able to go to the recruitment and the retention class that Terry Reed gave. She was very informative, her spin on things and how we need to be recruiting people within our communities. Those people are vested and they have something to give back. And so the importance of that and how to retain them once we capture them. So that was really good. So, and then I also was able to attend Amy's class.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I was going to just make one point. And during that class, I think you brought up a great idea about not just recruitment and retention in your department. You need to have a retention officer to try to help you figure out ways to keep people here, because right now all departments are suffering with people leaving and doing other jobs. I think that's one of the effects that COVID has had on everybody all around. And so I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, we saw with our exit interviews that people are completely leaving the industry and obviously wondering why, just to change. Obviously, we're dealing with a different dynamic and a different type of person that's coming into the fire service now. And so what we also are doing are just trying to think outside of the box. The deputy chief of operations, we're trying to do what we're calling a stay interview or retention interview. We always want to know why people are leaving, but we need to try to capture what we're doing right that's continuing to keep people to stay within the organization. And so just trying to think of ways to, capture that and keep people. So
I think that was awesome.
Yeah, that is such a great idea, actually. And you're right. I think that the fire service as a whole is really struggling through that right now. So anything you can do to try to maintain, that's awesome. Yes, so you were able to sit in my class, Health and Wellness for Women in the Fire Service, which went really well. We had a lot of great conversation. That class itself is based on the document that Women in Fire was able to do here within the last couple of years with the USFA, Emerging Issues of Health and Wellness for Women in the Fire Service. And honestly, it's just a very well-rounded look at a lot of different health impacts and wellness impacts on not only women, but anybody that's a fire service member, cardiac health, cancer, sleep issues, behavioral health, and we had some great conversation with the attendees in the room. Honestly, kind of had to cut it right at time because of how interactive it was. And one of the things that I'm excited that's a little bit newer to the class is the reproductive health resources that you mentioned earlier that we've been working through. We were able to release an infographic in Spokane that essentially gives a female firefighter basically information that she can take to her OBGYN and give them feedback on exactly what the impacts of the job are, what she'll have to do as a firefighter, and then they can have an informed conversation of what her path looks like as far as light duty or staying engaged. And I think the attendees really appreciated the conversation around that and policy. I know we had a few chiefs and HR related people within the room as well. So it was some very good conversation and some very forward thinking people.
Yes.
And I'll be teaching that again on Thursday. So if you missed it, would love to see you in room 138 at, I believe, 115.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the reproductive health, I think it was very important that even our keynote speaker spoke on how we had people that actually interacted in our studies, and we're here and hearing some of the outcomes of the things that they participated in through the years with Women in Fire. So I think that was very awesome.
And I think too, on the infographic, it's not geared only towards women.
Exactly.
There are a lot of men that are being affected by their working in the fire
Yes.
service on their reproductive health.
Yeah, I mean, we are an inclusive group and we want to make sure that we're providing out the best resources for everybody. And certainly that means providing out resources in that realm as well. So certainly appreciate our researchers for being able to help with that.
And I think that sparked a lot of attention of the guys in the
Yes.
room because they weren't expecting that they were affected as well.
Right.
That's
So-
true. I don't think a lot of men know that obviously cancer is the number one that's affecting firefighters now. That's like the killer now, as opposed to it used to be cardiac related. And testicular cancer is number one. It's the number one lead. And so we're providing that information, like you said, for them as well as the women, so that they're informed and can make informed decisions and hopefully be advocating for themselves and protecting themselves during the fire and after the fire. So just providing that information is key. Obviously, we all want to go home safe.
And Kim, you're always our logistics person, I feel like, or lead as far as some of the conference stuff goes. From your perspective, how did yesterday go?
I think it went great. Again, we had our networking event at the JW Marriott, who they are always amazing with their staff, their food. Everything was amazing on our end and hopefully for our attendees as well and our special guests. And just the fact that FDIC is so welcoming to us and helpful and promoting Women in Fire and our conference and events. It's a great feeling to have all of the support from FDIC. They've done wonders. So thank
I
you.
would agree. And we're excited to be here for the rest of the week as well. We'll have our vendor booth. I believe that's 10,014.
10,014.
Yep.
Yeah, right across from classroom 128.
Yes. So definitely come see us. We'd love to see your smiling faces. Always happy to answer questions. We have a lot of people reach out about policy or membership or some of the different programs that we have going. So would love to connect while we're here. And I think we're all looking forward to the 5K as well on Thursday night.
Yes, absolutely.
It's always fun.
And if you're participating in 5K, come by and get one of our t-shirts or something to wear. Support us.
Yeah, that is a good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
Yes, even the men.
Yep, we have something for everybody.
Yes.
And we're also looking forward to our conference in Orlando.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be at the JW Marriott. It's actually on this huge, I call it a compound, but they have about 80 or 100 acres and it's right next to the Ritz-Carlton. It sits back off the street, but it's all kind of activities for your family. And obviously being in Florida, we're near all the theme parks. They're going to be offering discounts to the participants who come to Women in Fire to be able to go to the theme parks, different days, different times. And so while you're in class, your family can come and hang out.
Awesome
Excuse
golf
me, and have
course.
fun.
for the guys.
Amazing golf course. But yeah, I think the conference is going to be epic. We partnered with 3 different fire departments down there who are all in on making this the best conference ever. And I am super excited. I am just over the moon.
So September 21st through the 24th, Central Florida will be co-hosting with us. We have Reedy Creek, we have Orlando Fire, and Orange County Fire Department helping us with everything.
And I love how excited they are to be
Yes.
hosting. They've been talking about it for a while. So
Yes,
nice
yes, they've
to be
been
in their
very
space.
accommodating with ideas and coming up with ways that they can help us be successful. So
Yes.
I am so looking forward to it.
And Nikki, of course, is the functional trustee, and a large part of her role has to do with hands-on classes.
Yeah, so come see us. We have a plethora of hot classes going on. We have ladders, we have search and vent, we have hose management, command and control. We have all types of different classes. Anything you're looking for, we can help you with. We also have stuff for EMS. And we're going to have a hot class for EMS as well. So just come on out.
Wow.
We have different instructors from all over that are excited and eager to meet you. We also have 2 new instructors that came to our conference in Spokane last year, and they were so excited that they wanted to come back and teach, and they were partnering up from 2 different places, teaching
wow.
together. So I think this is just awesome. And if you come out, maybe it'll be you next year as well.
Yeah, it's so important that we bring in these because they're young.
Yes.
And I was very inspired by them just in talking to them. And so then when they put in for classes, I thought that was great because obviously they're the future of the fire service, and they had some really great ideas. So I'm excited for them, and I'm excited to sit in on their classes.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's great. And Kim, what are you looking forward to as far as Florida goes? Orlando.
Well, from Minnesota, I'm looking forward to the warmth. I think they're really trying to make it the best conference ever. And we just have a lot of support. We have a lot of new instructors for hot and for classroom sessions. And I think it's just going to be a great opportunity for everybody that's coming.
I agree. And if you haven't been to one of our standalone international conferences, it's just such a positive vibe. I absolutely love it. We tend to have a fair amount of a fair amount of participants,
Mhm.
and really anyone from the firefighter who's just getting started up to the fire chiefs. We have a lot of retirees that like to join.
Mhm.
Sometimes we'll have union leadership. It's just a nice mix, I feel like, and a lot of
even
great
have
resources.
babies.
Yes,
Yes.
and last year we had a baby.
Last year we had a baby that was even coming out to the hot classes to get breastfed in
That's right.
between.
Right.
That mom was determined to be a part of the conference, and I thought that was awesome.
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
She
That was
showed a
pretty cool.
lot of great determination.
Yes.
did.
Showing up so soon, and she didn't wear bunker gear, so don't worry. But
right,
yeah,
Right.
it was a
yeah.
lot of great determination on her part and her husband's part to be there, to be a part of the conference
Yes.
after having a baby like
Yeah.
that. So
We had a
Yeah.
young lady this time
With a baby.
with the baby, a
yes.
6-month-old, a 6-week-old, excuse
Yes.
me. And so she's only able to make it for the 1-day leadership conference, but she said she's going to try to make it to Orlando.
Yes.
So yeah, I thought, again, that shows such determination
Mhm.
that you want to at least come and be there and participate and learn and get this information because it only helps you in the end.
Well, and I think what I really appreciate too is, especially if you work in an area where maybe there aren't a lot of other women, it can just really give you that kind of feel of community, or maybe you are just starting out and want to see what your career could look like, and you might be able to find someone who can help kind of guide, or you can connect with, that might just give you a little peace of mind or a little bit of feedback on what career path growth could look like.
Yeah.
So
Simply recharge you so you go back
Mhm.
ready for more.
Mhm.
And I think that's what helped with the 2 young ladies that came last year, and now they're ready to teach, because their story, they were
Right.
ready to, give up. And then when they came here, now they're renewed, refreshed, want to stay in the job and teach with us.
Right.
So
And
that's
one of
awesome.
the young ladies I'm doing some mentorship with now, we have a mentoring program, and in engaging with her in Spokane, because of her department and where she was, she just did not feel like that she could grow there.
Mhm.
And so, but in talking to her, she didn't even realize the things that she was saying, that she was growing, and went back with some encouragement, and end up really connecting with the organization, with
Mhm.
her leadership that she's where she's assigned. And again, she presented this presentation, started saying she wanted to teach, and with encouragement and ideas. And so it all came to fruition. And so, and that, again, that's what we're here for, because as we go through our careers, we need to be mentoring one another. And that's in whatever that looks like for each individual person.
Yes.
I had a mentor. I'm sure these ladies had a mentor. I still have a mentor.
Mhm.
So, and sometimes you have more than one. So we can always develop and grow and learn from other people. But I think part of that is getting outside of your comfort zone, outside of your area, networking and talking to other people
Yes.
and seeing what's out there, what they have to offer. Because again, yesterday, that last class, I was just so encouraged and so inspired. And I said, I just really want to connect with Battalion Chief Ashby on a personal level, just to be able to really have some one-on-one with her, because she has so much to offer. So mentorship is always available through Women in Fire, and that's whether you're a man or a woman.
Yes.
And I think it's important to keep in mind too, that it can be very valuable to have a mentor who's outside of
Yes.
your organization, maybe doesn't know some of the stuff you've got going on in the weeds of it, but can help to give kind of a different perspective.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's very important because like you said, everybody has a different vision, and you can, outside of an organization, you can have a more broad spectrum of what, especially if you've been attending conferences and you know what's available, then you can give that broad perspective on what's available to that individual and help them to develop and grow and see outside of their own organization.
And if you're looking for a mentor, you can come to our website. We offer, you can pick who you want. We have bios on the website, and you can pick different people that you might suit you and can help you in whatever needs you have.
Right.
So,
And I think too, on that point, I think everybody has so much to give from the paths that they've traveled, that you should think about putting in to teach for FDIC or for our conferences,
Right.
whether it's our leadership here or our standalone conference, and writing articles for us, anything like that. Most people have something that they can provide that somebody else is going to say, oh, I needed that at this moment.
Exactly.
Yes, and it was mentioned, I guess, at our opening ceremonies yesterday, you mentioned the teaching here at FDIC. Chief Bobby Halton gave a few words during our opening ceremony and talked about the opportunity for writing for fire engineering or for putting in for the conference. And it's just about kind of taking that step and putting yourself out there. So it's certainly been a good move. So
Yeah, everyone has something to offer.
exactly.
Yes.
Our international conference, we start off with a couple days of hands-on classes, and then we have 2 days of in-person sessions. We're very excited this year for our keynote.
Yes.
And actually, this is a live announcement, if you will. So Dr. Lori Moore, our current U.S. Fire Administrator, will be our keynote speaker in September. So please join us. We're very excited. It's such a joy to have her in that position and to have her joining. And I know she's equally as excited to be there. So certainly a great opportunity. We also have a couple days of class sessions beyond that. We've got Annette Zapp will be, I think she'll be doing a couple different sessions on sleep and wellness. Erica Enslin will be doing a class on fire camps. I know Mike Galliano will be out again, and he was a huge hit in Spokane. His room,
Standing room.
his room
only.
is literally
Yes.
standing room only. So we're making sure this year that we're good about having space, the right space for each session. At some point, you can only do what you can do,
Right.
I guess.
Yes,
So
yes.
we have to mention Jonah.
yes, thank you. Yeah, and you've been through Jonah's classes.
Yes, they're awesome. Awesome. Her classes will have everybody from laughing to crying, but you will definitely, any subject matter that she teaches, you go home feeling so full and refreshed and wanting to share with everyone. And we also have some people that work under her that'll be teaching classes as well, like Chief Tiffany Wesley. So you come, we'll have a plethora of classes that you can pick from, and I'm sure you'll find something that you'll go home amazed with.
Yes.
Yeah, I always do. And I've never had the opportunity to be in Jonah's class. So I'm surely going to carve out some time
We're gonna
on
have
that
you a
day,
front
at
row
that
seat,
time.
Mark.
Yes. And I want to be right in the front. I want to absorb all of that. I want to have that experience. So I'm very excited about that.
And it's been a few years since she's been able to join us. So
Yes.
it'll be nice to have her back. That's
Yes.
definitely something we're all looking forward to. Yes, and then we'll of course have some of the grant related diversity and inclusion training again available. As you mentioned earlier, that's something that we worked through. Essentially, there was a need felt by the research group that we've worked with, as well as a few other inclusion groups, of providing out kind of a best practice diversity and inclusion training for the fire service.
Yes.
I'm sure we can all kind of relate a bit of how that can look maybe a little different than for general civic. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that'll be another opportunity. And then of course, Christine Tanetta is going to be back with us, captain from New Jersey.
Yes.
I think she's teaching about the EMS role on the fireground.
Yes.
So we're excited to see what that session looks like. And Kim, what else are we looking forward to? Networking?
We have some great networking events. The resort itself is, as Adrianne said, massive and amazing. So everything will be on site this year. No busing. The busing will only be done for hot classes. We've gotten a couple questions about that. We provide the busing to get to the hot classes, and we will have air packs on site. You don't have to worry about shipping your air packs if you're doing the hot classes. We'll have the packs, you just bring your mask. But the networking events will be at multiple locations throughout the resort. There's a spa there. There's plenty of pools that you could go to after the classes. Yeah, it's just going to be a great location, and
So
Yeah,
come
it
relax.
truly is perfect to bring your family if you've
Yes.
never taken your family to a conference. Because again, while she said you're in class, then they can take advantage of all the amenities that both resorts have. And like I said, it's the Ritz-Carlton, they're side by side. You can go over there, utilize their pool, and needless to say, if you're a golfer, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
So between the weather and the scenery and the ambiance, it has everything for everybody.
I would agree.
Yes.
Along with education.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and we have an auction while we're there too.
Yes.
That's always a fun night. I think
Great
our
night.
second vice president, Rachel Stabell, will be leading that again this year. That
Yes,
was a hit in
yes.
Spokane.
Yep.
She had everyone in stitches.
You will not want to
Yes.
miss that. That
Yeah.
would definitely be the highlight of your
A
time.
lot of
there.
fun
always
and a
looking-
lot of great items.
Yes.
yes, we're always looking for more items.
Yes.
So if you've got anything that you would love to help out with and donate.
Yes. The
Mhm.
information for donations, we'll make sure it's on our website. So please feel free to send some items in and
Yeah.
come in and participate in the
Yes.
auction with us.
Yeah, and our other networking events are always a great time too. I think it's nice to, at the end of the day, just have that time to connect on a different level.
Right.
Certainly when we're in class or out on the drill ground, there's some camaraderie. It's just not the same as being able to take a moment and hold space with someone and
Right.
learn
Yeah.
about them and their story. And certainly it's always fun to go to conferences with other people that you might know from work or from the
Mhm.
area. But I always think it's unique as well for those who may become alone, and just being able to put yourself out there a little bit and get to
Right.
know somebody else. And
Mhm.
you never know, you might make a friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
A
because
lot of
I met
lifelong
a young
friends.
lady at our networking event, another young lady that is a chief for a volunteer department in New York, but she also
that's great.
works
I met her. as
in
well.
dispatch.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, her story was really amazing because obviously she sees it
Oh,
from several different angles.
Yes.
And I could only imagine when she said she was a dispatcher too. I know sometimes they can't quite grasp
Mhm.
what's going on, but I said I can only imagine if we had a chief that also did dispatching, it would be totally different because we always wonder, like, why did they do it that way?
Right.
But if they had both sides of the coin, if they had a view of that, then it
Right.
would be different. So yeah, her story was very interesting
yes,
as
it
well.
was.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, just a great opportunity to get out of your own environment, get into another environment, meet other people from all walks of life. Because again, everybody has something to offer. So if you've never been to one of our conferences, really September is going to be the prime opportunity to come out and participate and meet all of us. We'd love to meet you. So please take advantage of it.
So for those who may not know what Women in Fire is or what it means to be a member, Nikki, what would you say has been the value for you in being connected with the organization?
The education, the networking, like I'm sitting next to some amazing ladies from all different departments. Every time I come and meet with them, they're feeding and sowing more things into me that I can share with my friends or my department. I think just coming and being able to talk to different people, getting different perspectives, and even the little things that you do is sewing back into someone else. You don't know how you change their lives. Just like the example that Adrianne gave about the young lady last year when we all sat around and talked to her. And now this year she's coming to teach. I think that is so like heartwarming. And if you don't get anything out of these things, like stuff like that just makes it all worth it.
Right. Yeah.
So
And
that's,
in my opinion, I'm a spiritual person. And so obviously we're all on this earth and we're meant to be servants. And
Right.
so it's our opportunity to give back. And it's a great opportunity. It's a great feeling. I think that's why we all got in the fire service,
yes,
to be able to help those in need. And so this is an opportunity to be able to help your fellow brother or sister.
yes.
And to me, nothing beats that. So
Yes.
yeah, it's just a great time. And it's just so much fun in the
Yes.
interim too. Yes.
From your perspective, Kim, what do you think the value is in membership with the organization?
So the value of the membership, it can be different for everybody, but we do offer discounts on conferences. And we have fire department coffee, things like that. But I believe it's building the relationships with other people that are working towards a diverse and inclusive fire service, whether it be men or women. They find support with the other members of our organization. And I think that that's probably the biggest benefit, is just meeting others, having the mentoring program, and having the opportunity through webinars or the different things we do throughout the year to come together and voice questions or concerns or even triumphs, so others
Mhm.
can see that.
Yeah, because with modern technology, you don't even have to be in the same area to be able to mentor or talk to someone or just have that sounding board. We can Zoom, you know, just talk on the phone, FaceTime,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
whatever you have available. And so with technology, that's really helped advance, I think, every organization,
Yes.
but it's really given us the opportunity to have a further reach to people who want to connect with us.
Yes.
I would agree.
Yeah, just for example, I was just in Chattanooga for another conference and a young lady saw the hot video
Oh.
from Spokane
Awesome.
and she was like, I saw you in that video. I had to Google you.
Oh,
Tell me about that organization. Like,
I
and
love
so
it.
I talked to her chief and hopefully she'll be in Florida.
Oh, nice.
wow.
That's
But I was
cool.
like, and like you say, the generational gap, I was like, you Googled me?
Yes,
Yeah.
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 I think another fun thing that I've been hearing since we've enacted it was I'll talk to people who are members and they'll say, oh, the Monday morning briefings. And
Yes.
it's
Yes.
just kind of that weekly
Mhm.
quick email with maybe a few articles about what's going on in the fire service, whether it's a relevant topic or maybe celebrating someone with a new promotion,
Mhm.
or sending out resources with some of
Yeah.
the projects that we've got going on. One thing that I'm really excited about that we've talked about this week a little bit is our partnership with Columbia Southern University.
Mhm.
And they provide out a scholarship for our members, and that application period is open now. And that's good for 60 credits. You could get your bachelor's degree, you could get your master's degree in a variety of programs. And I would encourage anyone that is either a member or is looking to improve their higher education and is engaged with our organization and would like to become a member to certainly look into the information on that. They've been a great partner. I know we had Chief from Oregon, from out my way, Trisha Connolly, was the recipient this last year. And it's just such a great opportunity to take advantage of. So I would
And
encourage
it's
that.
self-paced learning, so it's great for people in the fire service.
Right.
So you can do it at your time and your leisure. So
And that's huge because so many organizations are going more toward at further education, higher learning,
for
to
promotion.
be able to promote.
That's right.
Exactly. My organization just put pen to paper. It had been a lot of talk about it. And so now to be able to promote, you have to have that higher education. So, and anytime you can get it for free, you can get a scholarship, then I definitely advise you to take advantage of that. So definitely look on the site and see if you can get that scholarship, because that's huge. That's definitely money in your pocket,
Yes.
and that has value.
Yes.
And that is on our website now that you can download the information.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
great. What
Exciting.
else are we looking forward to this week?
Just meeting everybody. And the vendor show, we're looking out a window right now with pretty trucks. It's gonna be there's so many great people to just go and visit with, and we could see their smiley faces this year. So
Yes.
I think, you know, just taking advantage of the evening events, like you mentioned, the 5K. We talk the whole way through that. It's we just go and have fun and take advantage of the different events that are open to the attendees of FDIC and talk with the vendors, find out what's new out there. There's always new technology, new training items. Take a look around and just, and I think Nikki hit on it. You make new friends and some of those become lifelong friends.
Right, I would agree.
And a lot of those vendors will be with us in Orlando. I think our vendors space last year, we had so many, and people loved every vendor that we had there. You got some of everything.
It was a good mix.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, this week I'm just, it was so many classes. I usually just go a day at a time and select classes because it's so many good classes out there. So I can't even recall what's coming up, but I remembered looking at the schedule prior to now, and I even had some conflicts where I wanted to be in 2 places in the same time slot. So I don't know how I'm going to work that out. But it's a lot of great opportunities, again, to engage with these instructors and learn and expand your knowledge. So I'm excited about what the week holds.
Yes.
Certainly a great space, I feel like, to find so many of the top in the industry
Oh, yeah.
sharing their message and their
Mhm.
education and knowledge.
Yes, yeah.
Well, we've had a great last couple days. We're looking forward to the week ahead. And if you're interested in more information, womeninfire.org. And we would love to connect. I think a lot of us are very accessible and certainly have had one-on-one conversations if there's something that you're needing. And look forward to meeting you in person.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
How long was it?